again. We're going to do a class that'll focus on the muscles on the back of our body today. So we're going to start on our hands and knees. So go ahead and get set up. That's it. So line yourself up nice and even, and then we're going to go into an arched shape with our back to start with. So just lift up your eyes and lift up your chest, shoulders slip down. Now, as you're just starting off, no need to force it, you just go make a small arch, don't overdo it, and then you come back to even if you have osteoporosis, and otherwise you can go into a rounded shape. And again, so we all go into an arch shape, lifting the chest forward, and then either back to neutral or keep going rounded. Let your head go there in that rounded shape. And again, looking forward, take a nice deep breath in. And then breathe out to become even, all rounded. And inhale. And exhale. So move through each part of your back as you go into that arched shape. Just notice, really pay attention to your back and just see if there's a little part that feels like it's maybe a little bit stuck or doesn't move it quite so easily. Just go through that part nice and smoothly. Make the movement smooth. And then coming back to being even. Our next move, what we're going to do is keep our arms straight, but we're just going to slip our shoulder blades towards each other so that your chest drops down towards the mat. So good idea to have a look at this one first and then go ahead. And then I'm just going to broaden my back by pushing the floor away. So it's a tiny move and it comes from your back. Shoulder blades glide together as your chest drops towards the floor, and then I push the floor away and I feel that broadness on my upper back. So dropping down and then push the floor away. Just check that your elbows are not bending and straightening. So your chest will drop down because of your shoulder blades slipping together, and then make them broad again. One more. Good. Now, two options here. Have a look in the box above if you have osteoporosis. Otherwise, we're going to do the move called thread the needle. So I'm just going to take one arm, thread it through here, and I try and keep my hips stacked as I give my upper back a stretch there, and then come back around and lift the arm up. And again, so thread it through. Try and keep your hips nice and level, and then open and reach the arm up. So if we keep the hips still, it'll mean your upper back will get that lovely stretch. Nice big stretch. And back and down. Let's do the same on the other side. Nice big opening, that's it. So just go to where you can. I usually breathe in on the opening and then I breathe out when I do the twist. Make this your last one. Nice big deep breath. And then put your hand back and down. Just sit back towards your feet and have a little rest. Give your wrists a circle there. Go around the other way. And then you shift your weight forward and you're just going to crawl down onto your tummy now. So all the way down. And then we put our hands together, one hand on top of the other, and then you put your forehead on your hands. So give your hips a little swoosh. I always think of reaching my legs a little bit longer. That's it. And then from here, we just lift up your eyes to look at the end of your mat. And then I lift up my chest as like my chest was lifting up to look forward as well. And then come on back and down. So eyes look forward, and then I feel like my chest looks forward. I feel like my elbows are a little bit heavy there. And back and down. Now we shouldn't be feeling this in our low back, so a good way to check that everything's in the right position here so we can work our upper back is to push your hip bones down into the ground. It might make your glutes switch on just a tiny little bit, and see how that feels when you lift up this time. So you're really pushing your hip bones down, feels like the tummy's pulling up off the floor, and then you come back and down. I also get that feeling when I reach the legs long, so it's a feeling of really reaching the legs away, and then I stay active just to keep that lower back long. Otherwise it can get tight kind of feeling, and we're really just working on the upper back for now. And we'll do one more to see how that feels. Just a little weight in the elbows. That's it. And all the way back and down. Good. So you can turn your head to look at me and I'll show you the next one, and then we'll go ahead and do it all together. So we're going to bend one knee, flex that foot, and I want you to really push your hip bones down into the mat. And keeping that feeling of hip bones pushing down and tummy pulling up, we're just going to do a little up like this. You can see that I'm hardly getting my thigh off the floor, because if I go too far, I sort of twist in my hips, my low back feels compressed. So this is how we do just a tiny little move, and it'll work these muscles here at the back. So let's go together, bend one knee, flex the foot, and we're just going to do a little tiny lift up. Really keeping the low back long. Maybe you could even think of reaching your tailbone towards your heels. And you'll feel that, even though it's such a tiny move, it's a good one. And then we're just going to put that foot down. Let's go ahead and do the same on the other side. So bend the knee, flex the foot. Before you start to lift, hip bones down, tailbones sort of reaching long towards the end of the mat, and then a little up. I sort of imagine a footprint on the ceiling and just do a little up, up. I know it feels like these are the tiny moves, but if you do it well, a small movement can really activate those muscles, because you're just maintaining that alignment, keeping your lower back long, hip bones pushing down. And that's our last one. And then just put that foot back and down. Pop your hands beside you, just here by your shoulders, and you're going to push into your hands and just come back to rest position again. So you just sit back. So even if you don't end up sitting on your feet, that's fine, but we just stretch here. If you can sit all the way, sit back. Take a deep breath. Feel like your shoulder blades are spreading out with the air that you're breathing into your upper back. And then exhale. Good. And then we just shift forward. We're going to come back onto our tummy again. And this time, we're going to put our hands as wide as the mat and just in front of my head. Okay? And again, we're going to do some more extension. So I want you to think of reaching the legs out long and that feeling of pubic bone pressing down. And then we're just going to lift up our eyes and lift up our chest just like we did before, just to that same position. And then, if it feels okay for your back, you can push into your hands and straighten your arms up and come up a little bit higher. Just look straight out in front. There's no need to tip the chin right up or anything. The shoulders are down. You're looking right out on the horizon. So have a look at the shape. And then we just melt yourself all the way back and down. So the first part of the move, I always fix my lower back first. Organize myself so it's not going to hurt. So it's a feeling of hip bones, pubic bone down, stretch your legs out, tummy in. So once I've got that, then I lift up. That feels good. Maybe even you don't come all the way to straight arms. You can just do a little lift higher. Or if you want, you come even more. Eyes out. Find that nice feeling of lengthening up through your back. Shoulders are down. And then you melt back down. So I feel the bottom ribs touch, then right through this chest, and then my eyes and head come down. Again, eyes, chest, push into the hands and look forward. Hold it there. You're going to bend. If you have osteoporosis, you're just going to keep doing those, a few more like that. Otherwise, we're going to bend our right elbow and peep over the left shoulder. And then come back to where you were looking forward. Then we bend the left elbow down to the mat, peep over the right shoulder. And then look forward and straighten your arms. Right elbow comes to the mat, you peep over the left shoulder. And then forward, and last one, down, peep over the other way. Can you see your heel? Back up. And then all the way back and down. Good. Now, just relax your arms, give your hips a little movement, very gently side to side. Just releasing any tight feeling there in the lower back. Hands come beside you, push into the ground and just shift your weight back again. Nice deep breath. And then help yourself up. You're going to sit down now and put your legs out in front. Put them about as wide as the mat, maybe heels just off. There's two options here. Have a look in the box above if you have osteoporosis. And we're all sitting in this shape. If it feels easier to sit with your legs out like this, up nice and tall, just bend your knees. Sometimes if your legs are a little tight, when your legs are straight, it can make us sit more like this. And it's much better to have your knees bent and sit tall. Another option is to roll up the end of your mat and sit up on something, or sit on a little pillow or a towel. That can really help this position as well. Hands go behind the back of the head. And then we're just going to take a little twist to one side, back, and twist, and back. So as I twist, my knees, my legs are staying really still. So I feel like it's just that upper body moving from the ribs up. Good. And then pause when you're having twisting one way. Then we're going to go little finger to little toe and reach the other arm back. And then come back up to here and look forward. So twist, reach, up, back, twist, reach, up, back, one more, twist, reach, up, back, and then hands down. Now everyone will bring our legs in. Good, just have your feet there on the ground and you're going to pop your hands round behind. I'm going to pop my fingers pointing out to the side. And I've sort of sunk down in my shoulders, that's okay. But we're going to lift up now. So then I just lift my chest up. I sort of look at the crease of where the wall and the ceiling meet, and that's where I think of aiming my chest. Like there was a beam of light from your heart and you just point it straight up there, and then you can relax, just look forward. And then again, little lift. That's it. See your head and neck, they just sort of follow that shape. So you're in a nice straight line there. Not letting the head tip back or anything. And one more. So just a little lift. And relax, and then come forward. And that's you all done today. Good work.